this is the section of the show where we do jokes, because a lot of the people we get on, they don't have natural wit like you.
That was a compliment until you started smirking and giggling.
No, it was a compliment. It was a compliment. I just sometimes I can't think of the next thing to say.
Sure. Go on, you surprised me.
I don't know why, but a lot of times I'll talk, and halfway through the sentence I think something will fucking come.
Sure.
And then sometimes it doesn't.
Can I ask you a serious question? Because I admire you greatly as a stand-up comedian.
Yeah.
How do you work your stand-up comedy? Do you go up there and just ad-lib until something makes sense, like you've just said, until something hits? I don't mean this. I'm not being facetious. I'm genuinely
you
intrigued.
actually really want to know?
Or do you work it out before? I'm always intrigued.
I have I have a fantastic punchline.
Oh, you think of a punchline, as it were, and then you can work to it.
I think of a great punchline, and then I just wander around, because I used to do it by rote, like I would, that fellow there booked me on Letterman. And then you had to do 5 minutes, so they had to be word for word.
Yeah.
But I'm not a good enough comic actor to pretend it's my first time saying it. So instead, I just started yapping. And then I would think, out of like desperation, you're funny, kind of, you know what I mean?
Right.
Because people are looking at you. Yeah,
sure.
And then you just think of little jokes, knowing the giant joke is coming.
Which you've already worked out.
Yeah, that's there.
Okay, that's in the can.
I'm just circling it like the satellite, the moon is circling this whirling cinder we call Earth.
Yeah.
Okay, here's a joke. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Okay, you can just
I read it?
Yeah, you can read it right into the camera. That tree right there is...
I had an uncle, mean guy. He was a prize fighter. He once broke both his hands in a fight against a washer-dryer that he got on The Price is Right.
What? Why The Price is Right?
He was a prize fighter and he won it on The Price is Right. He won the prize.
A prize fighter.
Yeah, and he won the prize, and then he had a fight against it, which was washer-dryer.
God damn, there's more to
Let me explain why that's funny.
Yeah. Fucking MC Etcher, right? That? Here's one. What's that joke say?
Wait, where?
Anyway. I like that as a put down in a club. What is it? When you come out there, did MC Etcher come up with that?
Here's the fuck is his name?
It's Adam Egret.
Adam Egret.
It's Egret. When I was a...
Don't ignore him.
What happened?
He's looking at you.
Oh, hey, I don't know if you knew this, but when I was a child, my parents told me my uncle was sleeping with the fishes, which at the time I assumed meant he bought a waterbed. Then I found out he had been killed and his body buried at sea.
God.
Yeah.
Oh, my God almighty.
Is that in parentheses?
My father, this is all about relatives. My father was recently diagnosed with shingles, which is a terrible sickness that usually only affects roofs.
All right. Yeah, that works.
But I tell you what does hurt the elderly. Gypsies, black gypsies.
What?
Yeah, they show up, they go up on your roof, they say, we got lots of work to do on the roof. Roof's no good. The old lady says, all right. How long will it be? I don't know. They get up there and they eat their little sandwiches, the crust is cut off and it's in a triangle with a toothpick in there and yellow cellophane and red cellophane.
Have you got the big punchline you're working towards, or? I think Black Gypsies was the punchline.
Hotel Rwanda. You remember that?
Geez,
you remember that movie?
Yeah.
Well, there's a thing about Hotel Rwanda.
I've noticed that Hotel Rwanda has a great score on Rotten Tomatoes, but their Yelp reviews are terrible.
Growing up, I had a dog with an eating disorder. He wouldn't eat any of my homework.
All right.
I'd like to take this moment to say I endorse podiums. That's a product I can stand behind. No, but I will tell you this. I one time worked for Otis Elevator. I don't know if you know who they are.
Who?
Otis Elevators. They make elevators.
Okay.
It's a company. And they wanted me to come up with a slogan. I thought I had a great one. Otis Elevators, they never let you down. But... Wait, what's this say? I don't want to give you bad ones. Oh, this is a pretty good one. I don't know if this is a British expression or not at the end up there. You can peruse through it. Peruse means read fast.
I feel like I'm going to offend someone. I don't understand this.
No. Oh, you don't understand it.
I don't understand the joke.
It's not insulting to any minorities or anything like that.
You sure?
Yes, I'm absolutely certain.
Who knows at this point? I don't understand why LA is struggling to provide better public transportation when my neighbor Rich offers free moustache rides every night.
That's not right.
I don't understand.
That's a heterosexual man. He has a mustache.
Right.
And he's inviting ladies to
sit on his
ride
face.
on. Okay.
No, it's
a moustache ride? Is that what it is?
yeah, free mustache rides.
Yeah. So guys will wear T-shirts. Say free mustash rides.
I wonder why that never made it across the pond. I wonder why that's not a thing there. It's like it got to customs and they went, no, we're not. That's not going to work for us.
God damn! You imagine how fucking hard you could destroy with that joke?
Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
A young Zika mosquito.
Oh God, topical.
Torn from today's headlines. Went out flying for the first time in his life. When it came back, his father asked, "How was it out there? How'd you feel?" The young Zika mosquito replied, "It was great, Daddy. Everyone was clapping for me." The father replied, "No one was clapping hands for you. Why, everyone wants to kill you. The more they clapped, the more chances that you were going to die." Lesson. In life, not all the people who celebrate you are well-wishers.
Oh, well, that turned into a little philosophical lesson, didn't it? And I felt like that was an age-old mosquito parable that if someone's inserted Zika into to make it seem like this show is up to date.
I agree with you. Here's an interesting one. Adam Egret, who is, by the way, I'll just remind you, he's over here. That's him. Yeah. It's a joke, an Adam Egret joke.
How do you say the name?
Adam Egret.
Egret. Spelt differently.
Like the bird.
That's Egret.
Do you know what Adam Egret has in common with a guitar player?
Adam Egret has in common with a guitar player. No, I don't know.
They both love fingering minors.
Now, okay, come on now. Come on now. Come on now.
Okay.
Well, now, I know you're a political fella, but you have no dog in the hunt in this race. But you don't know, so you just know what you hear.
What?
Like endorsements. He'll listen to endorsements. It'll all become
It's so
clear.
complicated, this. Hillary has the support of the Orlando terrorist
Hillary has
dad.
the support of the Orlando terrorist dad has come out in favor of Hillary.
Trump has the support of white supremacist
White
groups.
supremacists, David Duke comes out in favor.
I can't decide who I like best until the Zika virus weighs in.
What?
All these bad people are endorsing both.
A lot of Zika virus jokes. It's very much clearly a hot potato topic on Norm's writing style.
I don't know what that means. No, don't read it. Don't read it. It's there the whole time. Man.
Playboy magazine has done away with the nude photo layouts altogether. In other words, they've eliminated ladies in the altogether.
Oh man!
That's a sort of radio DJ joke, I feel.
The way you,
you know
the
what I
way
mean?
you,
We have to
your
deliver
voice,
with that, right?
delivered it.
In other words,
amazing.
they've eliminated ladies in the altogether. Altogether. Here's Taylor Swift.
Hey, by the way, I've noticed the term adult toy always refers to something you can shove up your asshole, and never like a big race car, like for a grown-up.
Another good observation.
Yeah. I could sell that to Myron Stanley.
Can we rip all these from
When
Steve
I
Allen's
die, I want to be cremated, and my ashes spread eagle and fucked hard, like a fucking real tramp. Wow, come on, man. Why did they make me say that?
Wow.
Jesus Christ. You see, somebody writes that. It's not me. It's just some fucker over there in the next room.
Yeah.
Then I say it like a goddamn robot. And then people think I thought of it. But I'm clearly, I can't even type.
Yeah.
You ever read a book? Oh, you read that communist thing?
Yeah, I read the Marxist manifesto.
Who was the better man?
Okay.
Dr. Martin Luther King? Stalin.
Finally, these are the big questions. Well, I don't want to jump to any conclusions. Again, I don't want to be sued by the estates of either. But I'm going to go for MLK.
You know history.
I know history.
And I know you're very good friends with David Irving, the author, who he reads constantly.
Yeah, I'm not friends with David Irving.
Do you know that he, though, is a revisionist?
Oh, you're a revisionist?
Well, he's a denier, Holocaust denier. But he's never read David Irving because he said he's too smart. And I tell him, well, David Irving would be your biggest ally, you know what I mean, instead of these morons. You knew David Irving instantly when I said it, as if you're his best friend. But you've studied Irving?
I've not studied Irving, no. But I'm aware of who he is.
Yeah. What do you think about guys like this, though?
This guy?
Yeah.
He seems like
comes around. This is his little joke against the poor masses that came out of a chimney.
Being from Manchester, this has nothing to do with the Holocaust.
Yeah. I didn't bring up the Holocaust.
You did.
I love the fact you sort of gleefully said, I didn't bring up the Holocaust. I normally do by mistake, but today, didn't even bring it up.
I'm saying Stalin was just as bad.
That's what he always says.
Stalin was bad.
Yeah,
but if you're talking about Hitler, why is your first thing Stalin was just as bad?
It's not my first thing.
First, he wasn't just as bad. But anyways, even if he was.
Well, we'd have to define what badness is and levels of badness.
Are you kidding me? we have to define that. Yeah. That's what you two are saying. When you found your soulmate, I say Hitler's bad. I don't think you have to try to define what bad is, or you don't have to go through any of these epistemological fucking gymnastics to know that Hitler was bad. I've said it before. I'll say it again. I said it before it was cool to say it. But anyways, listen, everybody's entitled to their opinion. I say 6 million, he says 600. You say probably a number in between there somewhere. But if David Irving ever wants to do the show, he's welcome.
Good luck to him.
I
look forward to him reading some of these gags. That's going to be
Irving?
It's going to be dynamite, that bit.
So listen, guys, this has been fun, hasn't it?
This has been probably my favorite.
Been good. It saves me a trip to my senile uncle. So that's.
I lived down the hall from a woman who had Alzheimer's, and her son just stopped visiting her, and she took the notion that I was her son. This was when I was a young man. She took this notion that I was her son, and she had a bleak apartment. It was empty usually, and so what I started doing, I would get pictures from the store. They came in the picture would come in the frame, and I would put the picture down. And then that would spark something. That woman would go, that must be my son. You see what I mean? And I would just put things all over. And I put a ring one time on her finger.
Now, was this supposed to help her, or you were just playing with her? You were just screwing with her?
Both. It was to help her and to entertain myself. And in a way, when you think about it, isn't that what we all do in life?
That's a lovely upbeat message to end on. If you need kicks, find a person with Alzheimer's and fuck with them. For her amusement and yours. It's a lovely message to go out on.
Yeah, we can't go out on that.
I think so.
Why don't you ask one of your questions that you had? One of your questions.
No, because that puts undue pressure on me to end this with something upbeat and positive. Whereas I feel like very much is your responsibility as the host.
I thought that was great. Another missed opportunity.
Well, I can tell a joke.
Go for it.
Yeah, please do.
This is what we're looking for.
Yeah.
There was a little boy in school named Dirty Johnny. Now, he's not dirty in this joke, but he'd always be a hellion in class, and the teacher didn't think much of him. So the teacher has a project, or not a project, but an in-class thing. How'd that go again? She says, now, this is what you're going to do here, class. I want you to stand up. I want you to stand up and tell the class what a story from your life. And then afterwards say the moral to that story. So a girl puts up her hand. Yes, Becky, what's your story? So Becky stands up. She goes, my dad works for the hatchery. here in town. And what happens was he got about 15 eggs, and he put them all in one basket, all the same basket. So he put all his eggs in one basket. And he put it on the horse and buggy and drove back home. And by God, Becky says, the bouncing and all the eggs broke. Well, that's a good story, the teacher says, but what would the moral be to that? Becky says, well, the moral is, don't put all your eggs into one basket. But goddamn, says the teacher, that's a good one. Anybody else? Marjorie puts up her hand. Marjorie, what's your story? She says, well, my dad worked for the hatchery, as most, all of us. Thank God for the hatchery. She says, or we'd all be lost. But anyways, my dad knows that eggs become chickens. And so he was counting his chickens, and he added in the eggs, you see. And then he put them on a horse and buggy to go to town, and they all broke. Well, what's the lesson to that? The teacher says. She can't understand. And she says, well, don't count your chickens before they hatch out of an egg. Mm. So the teacher says, that's a great one, too. Anybody else? Well, wouldn't you know, Dirty Johnny has his hand up. So the teacher's like, holy God, I don't want it. But on the other hand, I made an oath to every child, should I suppose I gotta. All right, Dirty Johnny, what do you have to say? Johnny stands up. Stories about my Uncle Terry. He never worked at the hatchery on account he was in Vietnam, and he got disability. He don't even like people work at the hatchery. But the story happened far from these shores, in a little town called Da Nang. Terry was not well liked. His whole troop left him, abandoned. And he woke up in the weeds, and all they left him with was 3 bottles of Jack Daniels, some weapons. Terry stood up and downed 1 bottle right away. Said, if I'm going out, I'm going out. He took his Balishnikov and a couple of Glocks and his 2 bottles, and away he went. He found a town. And he didn't know if it was Charlie or if it was one he was sent to protect. But all he knew was he had hate in his gut. So he started firing. And he fired the Kalashnikov with an arcing kind of, like a farmer would with hay, with a scythe. And sure enough, the men fell like hay before him. And then the women, and by God, I'm ashamed to say it, but then the children. And finally, all was left was Uncle Terry standing in the mud and the blood and the glory. And he touched his pants, and it was wet, and he said he was ashamed. He felt shame, Uncle Terry, for he'd pissed himself. Well, he touched it again. It was not urine at all, but ejaculate. And Uncle Terry felt pride where shame once was. And the teacher's like, good Christ, what kind of a story is that? What the hell is the moral to that? Well, he says, when Uncle Terry's been drinking, you don't fuck with him. Now, especially if you work at the hatchery. No, listen, it's been great to have you. I didn't want to end on such a long joke, but I realized once I was in, I couldn't get out.
Yeah.
But it's been wonderful to see you.
Thanks for having me.
And we'll look for you. This is
Adam Egan.
Adam Egan.
Yeah.
Nice to meet you.
It's just a joke.
Read it aloud.
Yeah.
Scientists have discovered a vegan spider in South Africa that will not eat ants.
Oh.
It refuses to eat ants, even if it's starving, but it will eat tofu shaped like ants.
Oh.
It's good. That's good.
Should we let Adam read a joke?
Well, I'd like to see him do something before I leave.
He's going to read a joke.
Researchers in Bermuda believe they may have finally solved part of the mystery surrounding Amelia Earhart's disappearance. She was a bad pilot.
I don't know. Yeah. It's not my fault.
Bermuda. She didn't go down anywhere near Bermuda.
Do your goddamn research, Egot. Now, what about this one? Oh, here's a great joke. Dave, this is a perfect Dave Letterman joke. Well, you got to say it louder than that.
I'm because of what just happened. I've decided to pre-read.
Well, I'm a moment of silence after that joke. No, I mean, it was 150 years ago. We can look back and laugh at it now.
The Deer Hunter is a terrific movie unless you shelled out $3 to see some actual deer hunting. This is reminiscent of your Weekend Update stuff.
Is it?
Yeah.
Now, remember you had the snowstorm and you did the show without the audience?
Yes.
And it seemed like you really enjoyed that.
Yes, it was fun.
Would you ever consider doing that again?
Yeah, yeah, sure. I mean, it was what we're doing here, more or less.
Yeah.
Now, I know you've done this show in both versions. Which do you prefer, with or without?
Oh, without.
Without, you like that better?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
But I don't have the range of that you do.
No.
See, what makes it?
No.
There's only been two talk show hosts with this deep layer. You and Johnny Carson.
No, Johnny.
So you could speak to anybody.
No, you can speak to anybody.
No.
Do you watch this show?
No. But you should.
No, have you seen this show? The one we're
Get yourself a Charlie Rose desk. How much could they cost? And then you're
it all comes down to the expense of the desk.
You're just in black.
But do you watch your own show?
No, sir.
Well, you have. I've talked to people. I've watched it, and I've talked to other people who find it compelling. You can't take your eyes off. So
well,
there,
imagine if
whatever
you
it is you're making up, whatever qualities you're fabricating here, you yourself possess them.
But imagine if you were doing it. And
well, imagine if you were doing it.
Well,
well, what's the matter? I've done it for 30 years. I don't want to do it anymore. You do it.
Without an audience, though.
You could do it.
But you'd be a different show.
I don't want to do it.
You don't want to do it?
No, I've done it. People always say to me, well, what do you want to do? And I said, well, I kind of did it for 30 plus years. Right. And you, we always worry a little about you because we regard you as the top of the heap, the best of the best, the funniest of the funny, the guy who has it in every fiber of his being, not conjured. It's the real thing. So you do it.
I just want to write. I just want to write books. But I'd like to watch you with a big desk, and it'd be black. Hey, Dave, say what you will about Elon Musk, but with his new plan to bring people to Mars, nobody is a more creative serial killer. Hey, you know the funniest part of doing an office conga line? When you look back and realize you're doing it alone and you're not in an office, you're in a psychiatric hospital.
How many years did you do Update?
Here's a George Miller joke.
How many years did you do Update?
I want to say 15. What's that one say?
Oh, here you go. Yeah. I heard that when Beethoven was 16, he wrote his first symphony. This is the kind of guy who makes you realize that what an utter sham your life has been. When I was 16, I was in a Macdonald's saying, "You want lids on these?"
Now, what a perfect choice, huh?
Yep.
I mean, maybe the idea is generic, but the word choices.
Yeah.
It's beautiful. Oh, here's one for you.
Oh, great.
It's a George Miller joke.
I went to one of these fancy restaurants. Boy, they really specialize with all these fancy waiters.
Oh,
The butter
they
waiter,
specialize.
Who gives you
They
butter?
specialize. The waiters, they specialize.
That's right.
I don't think they're fancy. I think they specialize. You have the butter waiter, he brings out the butter.
Yeah.
You have the water waiter, brings out the water.
Yeah.
You have the what
Coffee?
is
The
it?
head
Coffee
waiter?
waiter, yeah.
Yeah. And then what else?
And then
The head waiter.
Now, they're very specialized at these places. This is not a George Miller joke, but it's more of just a whimsical observation. A surname you don't hear much anymore, Flintstone.
I was the George Miller joke that. I remember the first time I saw George Miller on stage, and he was talking about how he was in school. He wasn't very popular, and they would play post office. You know, the post office, and the punchline of that was, "Yeah, it didn't do much for my self-esteem. I didn't feel very popular with the girls. Do you have any idea what it feels like to be known as postage due?"
Here's two last George Miller jokes. I'll do this one, then I'll give you my favorite George Miller joke. I played a great club here in the city, Catch a Rising Star. Boy, that's a good club. But across the street, they have a tough club. Have you been there? Snub a bombing has been. But this is my favorite one of all time. This is a favorite joke of George Miller's. His sex life.
Oh, God. Here's something you should never say in bed. That ought to hold you for a while, Gertrude.
All right.
You want to read some jokes, Mike? We read jokes on this show off blue cards.
Go for it.
All right, you want me to do the first one then? Yeah. I thought I was going to be rich, Mike, but it turns out there really isn't that much of a call for radish cider.
Radish cider? What's radish cider, motherfucker?
That's a thing that someone made up. Now, will you read one?
Okay. Researchers have discovered that the cockroaches have personalities.
Huh.
Not great ones, mind you.
Oh, not good ones, yeah, that makes
How
sense.
you know?
Well, hey, why is taking no pleasure in things I used to enjoy a sign of depression? Maybe I'm just finally sick of crayon.
Say it again?
That's a long joke. Hey, why did Mike Tyson, this is a joke about you. Why did Mike Tyson break up with his girlfriend?
Which one?
At first, he thought she was irresistible. But then they started having irreconcilable differences.
That's just whack.
It's about your ear, man. What do you call a
It's
gay
about somebody
boxer?
else. It's about somebody else's ear.
What do you call a gay boxer?
Huh?
What do you call a gay boxer?
No, Macdonald.
No. That was funny. That was funny. That was funny. That was funny. No, that was funny. No, listen.
Come on, no.
Hey, what about read that one? Read that one.
Sherry Shepherd is worried her ex-husband will release nude photos of her. So am I. I'm not worried. Sherry Shepherd is fine.
She's a fine woman. I don't know who.
Fine, sexy,
Yeah, I don't know who wrote that
devilish,
joke.
ravaged black woman that I live.
Yeah, you like that?
I need meat to ski, baby.
I got a joke for here. We should let Adam Eager write a joke, right?
Wait a
Write a joke.
Read a joke.
Oh, yeah, I'll read a joke.
Oh, here's a good joke for Adam Egget. Do you like when Adam Egget reads a joke, Mike?
Mm-hmm.
Do you like when Adam Egget reads a joke?
Are you capable of reading that?
I mean, we'll see. We're all going to find out together, right?
Absolutely.
Well, apparently the Samsung Galaxy Note 7 phones are spontaneously catching on fire when you run screaming. They also hit you with roaming charges.
I never witnessed that.
Yeah, I haven't either.
Okay, listen. This is the last joke.
I want to read the last joke.
You're going to read it, and you see, you don't. We as white people can say that, but you can say the real thing.
Okay, good.
You know what the real thing is, right?
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of words that start with that letter. But you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Okay, let's hear this joke.
Researchers in Russia say that the dolphins have a distant spoken language of their own.
You're saying that dolphins have a distinct language all their own?
Yes.
Huh.
What's the solution? What's the solution that they use the N-word? Ooh, that they use the N-word constantly.
No, what word do they use?
Nigger word, N-word.
Oh, yeah. What'd you call it? The what word?
Nigga. Nigga, ninja.
Word, yeah.
Say it. I want to hear you say the word.
I don't want to say it
Say
because
it.
then it'll be on tape forever. I
it.
say it in my private life many times.
Say it, hunky. Say it, hunky. Say nigga, hunky. Fucking say it, hunky.
Listen, am I wrong or am I imagining that?
No, say nigga, hunky. Say it, hunky. Come on, cracker.
Mike, I have to ask you a question.
Say it.
I can't say it. Let it make him say it. Mike, make Adam Egan say it, Mike. God damn. These crazy fists are like inches from my face.
I'm sorry.
It's Mike
I'm just
Tyson.
playing, guys. I'm just playing.
I know, but you're
This is
playing
Hollywood
with
shit. This
you're
Hollywood.
playing with your registered weapons of your
It's
fists.
Hollywood. I'm playing. Come on, playing, man. He's playing.
This is what I think I saw in Arsenio. You tell me if I'm wrong.
What?
It was you. It was Sugar Ray Leonard, and then the great Muhammad Ali came out. Arsenio Hall asked Muhammad Ali, "What nickname would you give me?" And Muhammad Ali said, I remember him saying this, and Arsenio told me he did say this, that he gave Arsenio a nickname on the show that I can't say.
What was it?
Well, you can say it, but I can't.
Is it in? If that's his nickname, you'd be the.
That's what
You
I
look
heard.
like George Bush just a little bit. The pop, look, a little George. No, come on, serious, man. Can you see it?
What's
Can
wrong
you
with
see
you?
it?
A little bit.
Don't kiss ass. Can you see it for real? No, man.
What, you don't like George Bush?
No, George Bush is great.
Come on, man, he's a great man.
Yeah, but you're not.
No, I'm not. I don't pretend to
Don't
be
look
George
like
Bush.
George Bush.
Why? I like to look like a great man.
George Bush.
Don't break my arm, Mike, please. Don't snap my wrist like a twig. I know it'd be good television, but goddamn. Can you hit him for a while?
No.
I know you're playing, but play with him.
No, I like playing with you. No, I know.
Why?
Because everybody always asks me what it's like to be with you, so now I'm going to tell them, oh man, I'm kicking on his ass the last time I said
Yeah,
no.
it's this fucking interview started. You were gonna suck my dick.
Yeah, I know, but I changed. I'm a flipper. I got multi-personality disorder. I go to this guy, I go to this guy.
I would never go to you for a blowjob because you might beat me up instead.
You never know.
Yeah, you never know with Mike. He's the
setup.
worst
That's the
fucking
setup.
male prostitute. He would be a horrible male prostitute.
But a great mugger.
Yeah, you'd be a good mugger.
Hey, come on, a blowjob?
Boom! Yeah, pretend to be. That would be a good. If you didn't get into boxing, where would you be right now?
Well, I don't know.
If Customata didn't come into your life,
I don't know. I would been.
was greatness? Would you have achieved greatness anyway? Do you believe?
I don't know. We all have different definitions of greatness.
But it's what you wanted
Yeah.
from an early age.
Well, greatness could have just been
Being a good family man, being a father.
fucking being one of these guys, missionary guys. Not the position, but
Yeah,
you know, these guys
no.
that go to these places.
Sure.
The guys that go to all these places. No way. You go to all these places
Yeah.
to build bridges in the name
No, they're
of
great.
God.
And then they go home and they have sex in the traditional way.
I like to believe I'm doing it in the name of God.
I believe you
I
are
like
too,
to think
sir.
I'm doing good things in the name of God, even though I often fellatio to people. But you know, it's just in the name of God.
He offers fellatio to people.
They did earlier today.
But then when they go to collect, he fucking breaks their arm.
Yeah. Things are really bad.
What, look at this. What about this picture over here? This
Things are
fella's
really
holding?
hard.
What about that?
It's the end of the interview.
I guess.
I'm glad not the fucking hour, because I was in fucking hour.
No,
I was
now
telling you
it's-
about an hour before we got
Listen,
here, right?
man,
Free.
I think you did
I was
an
just telling
hour.
you about the
How
hour
long was
before
the
we got here. I
interview?
ain't doing no fucking hour.
How long was the interview?
minutes, Mike.
How long was the interview?
45
minutes,
If
Mike.
it was an hour, I'd have beat your fucking ass.
I know, I wouldn't
First
want to
thing
do
I
an
said,
hour.
I don't want to do an hour.
I know, man. If I'd done an hour, you would have
Fuck.
beat the fucking shit out of me. And I think I would have been sucking dick.
Oh, the day's not over when the camera's over, man. We going down. You going down.
After the camera?
It's both ways. He's going down out and he's going down for the blood. He's going for the
I don't want to go down both ways.
It's
But if I go down, if you beat me up, then
you got to let me do the blowjob first, because if you beat me up, I won't be able to do it.
Yeah, fuck.
I'll be like,
Forgot that.
you don't want it.
We got that.
You don't want that. God damn.
Then we're gonna have to get Orlando Cruz, right? I thought the name.
Yes, up.
Yeah, no,
What was the joke?
Orlando Cruz.
What do you call a gay guy? You said me. But it was Orlando Cruz was the joke. But it's not really a joke because he's out of the closet.
No, but he's a great fighter, too.
Incredible fighter. Now, when you go into, if you went into a ring with a guy who was come out of the closet, he was gay, would you use that against him? Would you start calling him names in the ring? No, you wouldn't.
No, what, before the fight?
No, during the fight.
Oh, no.
Oh, you don't talk. You don't trash talk.
Oh, no, I don't got time to talk.
Okay.
I don't have time to talk.
Yeah,
we gotta fight. We gotta fight.
Do you hear other guys talking to you?
Oh, yeah.
And that triggers you to go harder. Or you ignore it?
I'm not angry. And the objective is to appear that I'm angry.
Okay.
I'm not angry.
So that was George Foreman also.
Hey, no, he's not gonna. It's not over. He wants us to stop. No, fuck you.
Come on, man. George Foreman also.
Oh, he was vicious.
But it was an appearance.
Yes.
Because afterwards he was a sweet guy.
Listen, this guy's a preacher, all right? Give me a break.
He's a preacher.
He's a preacher. Right?
Yeah,
That's all.
But Sonny Liston, that was no act.
That's the real mean
That's
dude.
the real bad guy.
That's the real dude.
Bad
man.
guy.
That's the real dude.
You know what George Chuvalo told me? Maybe you know this story. But George Chuvalo told me he wanted to fight because he fought all the greats. He wanted to fight Liston, and his manager was only offering him $10,000. He said, "Give me $20,000 just for my self-respect."
Yeah.
And he said, "I'm talking to his manager every day. I'm talking to Sonny, and he won't go for it." Then they found Sonny dead. He'd been dead 5 days. Chuvalo says, "You motherfucker, you told me you talked to him yesterday." All right, baby, you're all right, okay? Say goodbye.
Nobody lied to more than a guy in the fight business, man.
Yeah.
That's the only business. Fight business is the only business in the history of business that all the fucking, everything's not on the table. There's always something, and the whole thing's never on the table.
Something under the table.
There's always,
God
there's
damn
never
it.
the whole deal. This is what it is.
I read
never.
this.
Never. Don't believe it.
This
never.
I worked with One Day with Don King.
What was that like?
He was like a viper.
It was
I went in a room with him.
scary.
He was a scary motherfucker. With 4 Nation of Islam guys around him, not smiling, only in America, none of that shit. Just looking at me with rings and shit.
And I'm gonna tell you this right now, from my experience with Don King. And I'm just telling you an experience.
Yeah.
He's not gonna bust a grape. That's just like his perception. He's not gonna hit nobody. He's not gonna have no physical confrontation with nobody.
Yeah.
It's not gonna happen. So
But still, he can control incredibly tough guys. Now,
he's not gonna fight nobody. He's not gonna do good fighting nobody.
Yeah.
He's not that guy. I know he's the big guy. He's not the fighter.
I heard his
You
move.
never believe it. He's not a fighter.
I heard his move was, if his boxer, got a $5 million purse, he would pull out a attaché case with $400,000 in it and say, "Take it or leave it," and the guy would take it.
No, that's during Reconstruction times. He wouldn't do that now.
Reconstruction.
He wouldn't do that now. That's it. That's how you did the Peter Jackson and those guys.
Back in Peter Jackson, yeah. You do know a lot of boxing, huh?
You're a history guy, huh?
A little bit, yeah.
You know that's the
Well, I like the older guys,
Yeah.
Fitzsimmons.
Yeah, I went to his grave site.
Oh, you did? Oh, wow.
He's buried right next to Jack Johnson. They're friends.
They were friends? I did not know that.
Yeah, they fought, but they were friends. Fitzsimmons was a different kind of guy. He's from Australia. He's very conservative, kind of Republican.
Tall guy.
Yeah, very conservative. Didn't tolerate nothing. You couldn't talk disrespectful.
But not racist.
No, he wasn't. He didn't appear to be. He said, "If you lay your hands on me, I will murder you." He talks like that. Yeah, you lay your hands on me, I will murder you.
And who did they bring back? James Jeffries. That was
Jeffries was,
he was a great fighter.
Yeah, Jeffries was one of those guys that talk about it's the mean. Yeah, he was one of them mean fucking guys. Really tough.
Yeah. But they brought him back to fight Johnson. He was an old man.
He was old, washed up. But no, listen, he was remarkable to get into shape that quick.
Right, yeah.
Handball and boxing.
Well, how old? He must have been 40 or
no, he was
maybe
38, 39, something like that. But he got in shape.
Well, 40 is pretty close.
He got in shape, man.
Yeah. Imagine that coming out of retirement to fight Jack Johnson?
5 years.
Jesus
After 5 years
Christ.
of retirement, doing nothing. He got fat, gained 300 pounds.
And what about Jack Johnson? That guy was a big motherfucker, right?
He wasn't that big for the time
He
he
wasn't?
was. He was only 6'1.5" and 198 pounds.
Oh.
But for the time, that wasn't big. So when he lost to Jeff Willard was 6'6", 245. That was a giant of a man.
Wow.
You know, that was a giant.
They used to have those big freaks like Carnera, where they'd just find a big, tall guy and figure he could box.
Well, that's the Goliath syndrome. You think the biggest guy is the best guy.
Yeah.
You know, they're not the best guys, but if they hit you, they can hurt you.
They
real bad.
can, but you get inside, you just get inside them and
Well,
take
but
them apart.
You got to get in there first.
Right.
Yeah. Get in there.
Who was your toughest fight ever?
Everybody.
Everybody was tough. Not everybody.
In 8 seconds?
If you knock a guy out in 8 seconds, that's
Well,
not
Cus
that
told
tough.
me if that guy was relaxed enough, he would have got me. I don't know why. 8 seconds. Cus said you had your hands down. That guy was
You do
relaxed
that a
enough.
lot. I heard he told you were going to lose the Golden Glove.
No, he wouldn't say that.
No.
But he would just say.
He always talks you down, this fucker. Adam Egan.
He has never let me think that
He talks you down all the fucking time.
That's okay.
I'm gonna be honest with you. Is that all right with
He
you?
was always my favorite.
You can forgive him?
Yeah, come on.
You can forgive him?
Okay, listen.
Y'all ready to take a picture?
Picture,
Yeah, I
baby.
forget people that talk me down.
Yeah.
I love the fact that they talk about me good or bad. You know,
Oh, that's great.
Talk about me.
Because the equilibrium in the universe. He talks you down, I talk you up.
So I got a balance between.
Yeah,
that.
baby.
Okay.
Yeah. You got love.
Everybody.
You got love for me and disdain from him, but you still shake his hand, man.
Yeah,
Because you know
love.
forgiveness.
I have
Let's
love
take a
for the
picture,
universe.
baby.
I got love
The
for the
great
universe.
Mike Tyson.
Love for the universe, people. With your camera, that say love for the universe.
We're going to take a picture live on TV.
Love for the universe. The universe of people.
That's beautiful. You should be a preacher, I tell you that, man.
No, it's in the blood. It's in
Look,
the blood.
we're taking a picture,
Just that
man.
I'm the Muslim. I'm the Muslim preacher. The Muslim preacher.
Muslim preacher, you go all over the world.
And preach the Islamic gospel.
That's right, baby.
Ready, Mike?
The great Mike Tyson. Thank you for being here, sir. I appreciate it. Very, very nice to be here.
Honor to meet you. Thank you.
Yeah. Hey, we got some jokes.
All right,
If that's all right.
But you know, are these street jokes?
No.
So you wrote
they're
them?
Not. They're not. Someone wrote them.
Some of them wrote that you know.
Yeah, some
Okay,
people in this room.
Okay, cool.
Some people in this
Thank
room.
you.
I don't want to say who because in case the joke doesn't work.
Okay, all right. So
That's a strong joke. You can just read it. You don't have to read ahead if you don't want. There's nothing.
no, I'll just read it then.
Yeah.
When you're single trying to attract a partner, it's important to project the qualities you desire, which I understand, but boy, oh boy, have I had to suck a lot of dick lately.
That's sort of like a Bobby Lee joke.
It is a lot like a Bobby Lee.
All right. What about this one? This is for you.
Yesterday I had a picture framed. Now it's doing time upstate for armed robbery.
Oh my God.
I like that one. That was a good one.
Here's one for Bobby Lee.
I don't want to know no more dick sucker.
No, sir.
But
Do you diet sometimes?
I know, but do you
go on diets and stuff?
Yeah, sometimes.
Okay, so this
okay.
is sort of a diet joke a little bit.
I'm so sorry.
No,
Boy, was it hot outside today. I went out to buy a California Pizza Kitchen signature pepperoni frozen flatbread, and by the time I got home, it was perfectly cooked and entirely eaten. 100% true.
Oh, you ate it. See, I love
Wait,
how
stop.
I love how they laugh. It's just weird, right? Just some of them are odd. I'm not going to lie
This is
to
a
you.
joke.
Well, some of them,
But this is a
I
joke.
think technically.
Like an observational joke? I'm like,
I think technically. I need to have glasses in order to see my family, specifically 2 glasses of scotch. See, I take the hits.
Yeah.
Yeah, I take the bad.
Adam, you
ones.
do the next one.
I'll be on fucking Death Squad with some of these. Here's one.
Okay.
For Adam Egan, who did comedy. Give me a card for a second.
Oh, okay.
Did you know that Adam Egan did comedy for a while?
You did?
Very briefly.
But you performed?
Very
Open
briefly.
mics? In LA or in
No,
Phoenix?
Arizona.
In Arizona, he was
Yeah.
famous for thrusting out his cock, like he'd stand at the mic and he'd push forward, so his.
It was a nervous, yeah. It
But
was
he has
like
a hell of a hog, yeah, right? People say that.
Yeah.
You have a big dick? No, people said you have a big dick?
Yeah, I guess.
That's, would you say no next time?
No.
Read that.
All right. I saw my little nephew recently, and he was bothering me with a lot of questions. One he says to me is, where do you think would be the worst place to get a bug bite? So I thought about it. I answered, maybe the eye. What's your answer? And he said Brazil. That was Zika.
Torn from today's headline. What about this one? This is a short one. Fast one.
Okay. I signed up for my company's 401k.
401k.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, no.
I fucked it up.
No.
Don't give me a line reading.
I
give me a line reading.
I didn't know what 401k was, so I thought.
I mean, you give me a line reading, then you touch me. That's
Well, you're very soft.
I know.
People say that? Do your lovers tell you
I'm fucking
that?
soft as fuck.
How soft you are?
Can you caress?
Oh my God!
Yeah.
Is that moisturized?
No,
Yeah,
natural.
wow, just natural.
Yeah. He's soft.
I'll read it again.
Sure.
I signed up for my company's 401k, but I don't think I can run that far.
It is a long way. Wait, I got to get one that's going to make Bobby happy. I don't like when he scowls after that. I grew up poor, man. My mom used to cut my hair with a bowl. Did you ever see where they used to do that?
Yeah.
Which was bad enough, but then came dinner, and it was she served a bowl of hair. That was him. Okay. You ever hear of steampunk?
Yeah, I like it.
Oh, you do?
Yeah.
Well, there's a joke for you.
I wouldn't call myself a fan of steampunk, but I will say it's the healthiest way to prepare punk.
I'd like to take a moment to address all the men listening. No, I should do this on the camera. No means no. And bacalao means cod.
What?
I guess it's a type of fish or something.
Oh.
I don't know.
Oh, bacalao.
If I was grading constellations, well, will you laugh if he does one? Okay. I'm going to give you a good one.
Okay.
If I were grading constellations, my review and description for Orion's belt would be just 3 stars.
This is a thing we get once in a while. We ask for letters from people that have problems, and it's actually called Dear Bobby. So this one says, Dear Bobby, I am in love with 2 boys and don't know which one to marry. First, there's Andy. Are you thinking about this?
Yeah, that's when you say, I'm listening.
I'm in love with 2 boys and don't know which one to marry.
One is Andy.
First, there's Andy. He's sort of blonde and sells insurance. Mama likes him, which helps a lot. He's very reliable and seems anxious to get married. Then there's Tony. He's dark and sort of gives me the creeps, but they're awfully nice creeps. I don't know which one I like best. In the daytime, I like Andy, but I believe I like Tony better at night. Which one do you think would make the best husband for me? Andy or Tony? Okay, so we're just gonna have a talk. Everything was going well until these jokes showed up.
Oh my God. How long is this?
This show?
Yeah.
So how long
I have all day. I have all day.
So far?
But I just kind of want to know how long it is.
It's over.
Yeah, we were just discussing
what is it? You just said
Well,
we're
we
gonna
just
do
have
it.
these jokes, and then I try to give you the best ones. So
Oh, like we're gonna read
all
jokes.
of us. Yeah.
we'll tell you how to do
Are
it.
they old-timey jokes? Are they classics?
No, they're all written by guys in this room. But don't let that. Okay, go ahead.
Where's my tree?
This actually happened. Oh, do you know I asked Chris Elliott about the tree thing?
Oh, yeah, what
He
happened?
made it up.
No.
What?
Chris Elliott would go, which tree is mine? So we said something else because I thought it was an old time.
It must be like a showbiz
That's so
term.
great.
Made it up. Okay, go ahead.
I'm a gifted but self-taught composer, and my masterpiece is Toccata and Fugue in what I think is D minor.
I don't understand.
You said it so fast.
I did say it fast, and I think some
Now
of these
this
words from
is ripped right from today's headline. Did you know that Ringling Brothers Barnum and Bailey Circus closed today? Well, there's a joke already written.
And do I read it?
Yeah, just to the camera or to Adam. Or...
After 146 years, Ringling Brothers has. After 146 years, Ringling Brothers has shut down. Sad news for circus fans, but great news for employers looking to snap up guys who know how to beat elephants with steel rods.
Oh, Lord. God.
I suddenly tried to do it like you would do it on the news at SNL.
Ouch.
Steel rods.
I wonder if that really happens. I'm sure it happens. I'm sure that must happen.
Second,
girls.
second worst job. Assistant crack whore.
I did crack
For the
whore 4
10th
times.
year in a
And that's
row.
like,
I know.
Anyways, white girls who wear big hoop earrings may be guilty of, quote, cultural appropriation. And they risk getting a curse put on them by peeved gypsy fortune tellers.
What's the joke part? That's the setup.
There's a hidden insult, gyp, that people don't
Oh,
know.
Yeah,
gypsy.
that one slipped through
yeah.
that slipped through the
Gypsy,
cracks.
It's okay, people don't know.
I know.
Well, once you know, you get to stop using it.
I know. I find it offensive. I'm Jewish.
Well, you're not a gypsy. What the fuck are you talking about?
Well, Jews aren't gypsies, but in that way that they're
That they were both
get gypped.
victims of the...
To get gypped.
Yeah.
got gypped, got Jewed down,
Get
got
you
gypped.
down.
But Jude, you know.
Yeah.
Gyp, you
But
just learned.
Jews are nomads or whatever, like gypsies.
Right.
Not by choice.
Oh, a woman from Denmark I met at a party was telling me how awful she thinks Trump is. So I shot back, yeah, well, you guys have that asshole Hans Christian Andersen.
That's funny.
It's just my patriotism. She wanted an old-timey. You can read the
okay.
old-timey one.
A tip for anyone about to travel on a steam locomotive: don't get on old 97. I just have a bad feeling about it.
Oh, jeez. Oh, here's a funny joke. I think this is pretty funny. This is fucking...
I mean, wouldn't it be fun if we just sat around like we've been doing? Or what is this? Is just a part
no,
of
we
your
can
show
do
that
that.
you're like,
No.
this show needs structure. This is the
No.
segment this will be.
No.
I think a good job title for Jesus Christ would be visiting lecturer. I like that. That's brilliant. Very good. Very good. Whoever wrote that. Brilliant.
Do you have some favorite? Do you watch a lot of stand-up still, or do you have some favorite
I
comics?
try to. If I'm going to enjoy myself at home, I don't watch comedy
Nor do I.
because it's stressful. I love murder. I love whodunits. I like thrillers. I love that shit.
Me too.
So it's a little bit like work, but I want to support my friends. That said, I want to be abreast of what's going on on the scene because otherwise I become one of those old comedian types.
Right.
But do you get desensitized sometimes, like something that brought you so much joy when you were young, and now you're like, oh, that's I see that trick, and you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, but then there's a
anything.
joy to this part of our lives too. It's pretty cool, and being able to understand it, have an ear for the kind of laugh. Like when you walk off stage, you go, "Yeah, I did well," but they were laughers. They were laughing. They were anything.
well, I always think of when you start, you must have a tin ear because I always thought I did well.
Yeah.
Of course I did. I think I would hear 4 people laugh and go, "That's awesome!" Like, and people weren't yelling at
Most
me
comics
to
will be
leave.
paying attention to the ones that aren't laughing.
I think that's a more
Well, then you
jaded. That's
quit.
later.
Yeah, later,
I think
much
at first
later.
you need some sort of self-delusion.
But there are a lot of great young comics, I think, right now.
Me too.
Is this the
I love
golden age
Kate
of comedy?
Berlant.
Oh yeah.
Kate Berlant, Beth Stelling,
She's good.
lots of really good ones.
There's so many comedians.
Yeah, there's too many.
It's pretty cool, though.
What do you think of the? Your specials are always great.
I heard a word
But
on the
how
street is
many-
yours is the best.
Oh no!
Fucking, I'm not kidding. Everyone says out of all these huge superstar comics having their specials this month, everyone says Norm's is
maybe this
mind
month.
blowing.
That's really nice. But I think Louis is the best so far.
I gotta still see
But
it.
yours is coming out, and so that'll be a great, astonishing one as always. But
When is your coming
It
out?
takes
The
a little
30th.
while to get a special, right? And
Tuesday.
do you think maybe some of the guys are pushing it too hard, like?
Yeah.
Because
I
think
don't
of
know. I
Pryor-
never
here's Pryor.
think about my next special or anything. I just think of it as I put my nose back to the grindstone and I'm a
Yeah.
comic.
Yeah.
And then if somebody goes, "You want to do a special?" I go, "Oh." And then I go, "Oh yeah, maybe I do." I mean, it's 10 years between my first 2 specials just because it didn't occur to me.
Right. Well, you're doing other shows.
Well, look at Pryor. He only did 3, and his third one wasn't even that good. And he's the best ever. So.
If he doesn't have that much to say, you know what I mean? Then what do we have to say? You know, do you really have 25 hours of stuff?
I don't have an answer for that.
Remember when HBO was around, you couldn't get a special because they had deals with guys. Dennis Miller, one a year. Rich
We had the
Jay,
Young
one a
Comedian
year.
special. Were you on a Young Comedian special?
No,
Really?
I really wish I was.
Were you on one? No.
You just missed it, I think.
It was before me.
Fred, they should do that again.
You started so young.
Daniel was just saying that.
Fred Stoller he's doing a documentary on the guys that were with him on his Young Comedian special.
Who was
Was
on
that
this?
Drake Sazer, David Spade,
Yeah.
Rob Schneider, Judd Apatow?
Not Judd Apatow, no.
Oh.
Two other.
What's her name? Jan Karen?
Oh, Jan Karam.
Yeah.
Oh, I remember watching
It
that.
was fantastic.
How do you do this?
That was the funniest shit.
Exercises.
And then fucking Carson's getting all horny at the desk. I'm like,
She's great.
how does she not destroy? The other one was Warren Thomas.
May he rest in peace.
There was a suicide, death from AIDS, Fred Stoller.
And then poor Fred
What to call
Stoller.
him because Fred Stoller, you know, he tells me he always wanted to be a character actor, and that's what he is now. But he still seems.
Yeah, that's true.
I can't pick him at all. Like I remember, guys would get successful. I go, huh, what? You know?
But it is funny, like there are people who are like persistent in a way I would fucking never be, even if it meant not going as far, you know. But it's I think it's so sweaty and gross.
You mean like
so
telling
disgusting.
people you're good?
Or just like networking, you know, like that kind of thing. It's fucking gross.
Climbers, yeah.
But there are people they get successful that way.
They should.
But
A
it
lot of them
doesn't
do.
mean, you know, then I see young comics, they go, I'm going to bang on every door, call everyone I know, go up and say stuff and push to get on people's shows because that's what I heard so-and-so did, and that's what you have to do. And I go, no, you don't have to do it. You can just be like cool. You know?
I don't
Wait
know.
for people to talk about that you're funny.
I don't know if you were on
exactly
a
right.
show this year. I was when Jay, because me and Jay Moore and Sarah came together. But anyways, Jay Moore.
We were hired on Saturday Night Live at the same time.
That's how I remember. So Jay Moore had read this book. About
The
Saturday
night
Night.
he read it, when he threw the phone. Yeah, go on, sorry. I'm sorry. I remember he was literally reading like Saturday Night, the book about Saturday Night Live, and he reads about, Bill Murray like throwing throwing a phone out the window, and they fucking pulled the phone out of the window, threw it out the window, and that's when they go, okay, you don't have to be a writer, you can just perform.
But it's hanging.
But I don't even think. Like where we were outside of it, so we had a perspective to see like, oh, you just read this and then you did it. I honestly think that he absorbed it and became it genuinely, you know? It's also part of his talent.
It is.
You know?
Yeah.
He's persistent.
Hey, I remember hearing about you smoking a cigarette. This is how long ago? Smoking a cigarette in the writer's room, and Ian Maxtone Graham poured water on it. You punched him in the face.
Oh, yeah, I heard of that. Fred Wolf
Just
told me
people
about
come from
that.
different backgrounds. No, but you know what I mean? You grow up in Canada, everybody fights and everybody...
Yeah, you wear cleats on your hands, right?
It is funny when you meet someone and you go, well, this person has never been punched in the face.
Oh, there's
He
so
told me
many
after
now.
he never fought. You know, he was a foot taller than me. He was a big guy. And then I felt bad. I said, you've never fought in your whole life? And then you pour water on a guy's head?
Yeah, that's
Because he goes, oh, I didn't know that there were consequences to actions. But it is, I bet, in a
he's a
way,
great guy, though.
right or wrong.
A great guy and a funny guy.
Yeah. But remember, it's funny because he was so hoity-toity, and he had never gotten his license because he had always been driven, and no. And the Harvard guys used to look down on him because he went to Brown. Meanwhile, none of us went to, or I didn't go to college. You did.
No, I didn't go.
So
But
we
they
were
would
like
tear
the
him
real
apart.
scum of the earth comics, but that they stole all our jokes from.
Well, you know, I read in Monty Python that Cleese and Chapman went to Cambridge. And Palin and
Idle?
went to Oxford. So the two from Cambridge looked down on the two from Oxford like they were idiots.
What if they're
fucking
the other way
Oxford.
around?
No, Cambridge is the best.
Oh, okay. Well, that's how much I know.
No, you think of Oxford the same way you think of Harvard, but it's actually Princeton. Hi, sweetheart.
Yeah, but don't you realize when you're older, it's like, I mean, there are
rich
smart people, but
yeah.
it's really just rich people.
Yeah.
I know smarter people that didn't go to college. Smartest
you?
person I know, maybe Tig Notaro, didn't graduate 8th grade.
Did you?
she's brilliant.
Because when I first started, I was very afraid of. As soon as I heard Harvard, I never knew anybody.
Yeah.
Even I never graduated college. I never went to college. But when I heard Harvard, I was like, holy shit! Like I'll never be able. It was for the Roseanne Trust. I'll never be able to keep up with these fuckers. But yeah, then you realize it's just rich.
Well, they're
people.
just rich, dumb guys who have confidence that
Yeah,
it takes a
lot of
long time to
confidence.
learn how to have if you're not rich.
Yeah, you're right about that. The confidence. God damn it. George W. Bush the only president was in Harvard and Yale.
He went to Yale.
Went to both.
My English teacher, Mr. Anthony, went to Yale with him and said he was so dumb. And he would just show up drunk every day, show up like hungover and stinking of booze, and he was just dumb.
I can see that.
When I was young, we didn't have any money. We lived on a farm. So really, no one had any money. They were all super poor.
What did your farm produce?
Dairy cattle, but it was a dead, obsolete farm.
And comedians.
And what?
And comedians.
So there was one guy had some money. He he owned the eggs, from all the farmers.
Did you do farming yourself? Yeah.
So he would take the eggs and pretty well sell them back to you. You'd go and buy some eggs. I don't know why. He had fucking chickens. But anyways, he was the rich guy. He had a big fat belly, which was like a sign of prosperity back then. Like you didn't actually stick it out, so he'd look fatter. But he'd drive every year he bought a goddamn, and I used to hate it, a Lincoln Continental, not even a Cadillac, like a Continental. And he'd drive it to every poor farmer that had nothing and park it and show it to him. And then my father would go, God damn, his name is Hubert Delaney. It was that Hubert Delaney, God damn. You go, how much does that cost? He's like, 8,000, whatever it costs. Good God. And just brag about his fucking car and then drive to the next guy's house and do the same. But then afterwards, my father would go, God damn, he's a good guy. I go, why is he a good guy? What? Like, I don't like him at all. He seems like a fucking braggart. No.
My dad just fell and broke 2 ribs. He passed out from coughing really hard.
Wow.
And then he broke 2 ribs, and then he went to the hospital, and then they released him because it's just broken ribs.
Yeah.
Then he's at the pool the next day because he just swims every day. It's like a 10-year-old, And he still has all the EKG stickers all over him. I have a picture. He's just like this because he was too scared to pull them off because it hurt with the hair. I go, you have 2 broken ribs. You can't pull off those stickers. But he goes, the pool will pull them off.
Very strong, though. God damn.
Yeah, but he's in the pool swimming the next day after breaking 2
wouldn't do
ribs.
that.
No.
You'd be on your back.
No, my dad never
milk it for
complains.
months.
Daniel's seen his feet. He has really deformed feet. He just had to get 2 toes removed. I go, what toes did they remove? And this is the only way he knows them. He goes, the one who went to market and the one who had none. What ones are those? He goes, they're those.
That's fucking great. I don't know which ones those are, actually.
I think they're the last ones, right? The last 2.
No, one had fucking roast
Thank
beef.
goodness
though.
it was not.
Oh, it
big
was the
toe.
one who went to the one who had roast beef and the one who went to market. The one who had none is the pinky, but he still has that. And that's our show. Thank you.
Thanks, Sarah.
Thank you so much.
Well, they want us to do jokes.
Let's do some jokes.
What
What are we doing, man? Should I do it as a funny character?
Sure.
A new study shows dogs can tell when people are doling out fake praise. So I guess that's the one thing that differentiates my dog from Adam Idget. Who's Adam Idget? Oh.
Just a funny name.
Oh, just a funny name? Okay, all right.
Oh, what about this one?
That's funny. Where you go?
I'll do the next one.
Okay. This as Garth?
No, just do it yourself.
You know what they say, opinions are like assholes. I want to suck them all. Oh, he just
You want to suck
He
assholes?
he just edited it. See, that's the writer in you.
No, listen, my girlfriend's
suck.
mad at me right now. Last night when we were having sex, I yelled the name of her ex-boyfriend. Nice fella.
Oh, I love that. Nice fella. I always like that old joke of like, yeah, he's a little vain. When he has an orgasm, he yells out his own name.
Oh, that's
I
right.
always like that one. Or I don't fold. Yeah, the woman says, yeah, I want 10 inches. I don't fold it in half for anybody.
I think First Lady what's her name? I think the First Lady, Melania. Was that her name?
Melania Trump.
Oh, I think the First Lady, Melania Trump, puts up with a lot from her husband. But he's able to get away with it because he's president and he's rich and he has a huge cock.
Come on, let's do it, baby. Let's do it, okay? You never get erection, Mr. Donald Trump person. Every time you try to have sex, you never have erection, Mr. Donald President person. Why do you say person twice? Why do you say person twice? Because that's what I call you, Mr. Donald President person. Come on, baby, come on, let's do it. No, Mr. Donald President person. Yeah, makes me happy. Now that makes me happy. Just that she says person twice makes me very happy. You know?
Adam Idget is him.
Oh, I didn't know that's your last name.
His name is Adam Egget.
Egget.
So
I had no idea you were Adam Egget.
be nice to
I
him.
forget sometimes.
Okay. I'm not saying that your trusty sidekick, Adam Egget, is dumb, but on his contract where it said sign here, he wrote Capricorn. To a Letterman.
That's so dumb.
Good heavens. Oh, dear.
Oh, one story
dear.
from the book of Hadith reports how the Prophet Muhammad joked with a boy called Abu Umayyah, who was playing with a small sparrow. One day, the Prophet saw the child looking sad, so asked, "Why do I see Abu Umayyah looking sad?" One of the villagers told him, "The Nugar sparrow, which he used to play with, has died." Whereupon the Prophet began to gently joke with the child to bring him out of his melancholy, saying, "Oh, Abu Umayyah, what happened to the Nugahayar?" Note, in Arabic, this is a play on words because of the rhyme between the boy's name, Abu Umayyah, and that of the bird, Nugahayar, being the diminutive of Nugar.
That's not what I was
wish it
expecting.
could keep going on.
Yeah.
This is it?
No, that's your joke.
Oh, my God. You want me to read this whole thing? All right. I will.
Jesus.
Okay. Okay. A man boarded an airplane and took his seat. As he settled in, he glanced up and saw the most beautiful woman boarding the plane. He soon realized she was heading straight toward his seat. As fate would have it, she took the seat right beside his. Eager to strike up a conversation, he blurted out, "Business trip or pleasure?" She turned and smiled and said, "Business. I'm going to the annual Nymphomaniacs of America convention in Boston." He swallowed hard. Here was the most gorgeous woman he had ever seen sitting next to him, and she was going to a meeting of nymphomaniacs. Struggling to maintain his composure, he calmly asked, "What's your business at this convention?" Lecture. I use the information that I've learned from my personal experiences to debunk some of the popular myths about sexuality. Really, he said, and what kind of myths are there? Well, one popular myth is that African American men are the most well-endowed of all men.
I've heard that.
When in fact, it is the Native American Indian who is most likely to possess that trait. Another popular myth is that Frenchmen are the best lovers when actually it is men of Jewish descent who are the best. I have also discovered that the lover with absolutely the best stamina is the Southern redneck. Suddenly the woman became a little uncomfortable and blushed. "I'm sorry," she said. "I shouldn't really be discussing all this with you. I don't even know your name." "Tonto," the man said. "Tonto Goldstein, but my friends called me Bubba." Whoa!
David Carvey, everybody.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'll clap for myself.
Not even different in
Well, I
America.
can't say my friend's name, but he said his biggest fear is that ISIS or some terrorist group like that will get a hold of a dirty bomb and explode it over a major city within the United States and kill tens of millions of people. Because then the blowback against innocent Muslims would be absolutely terrible.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's right.
That's true.
All right, let's do some jokes.
That went well, Josh.
Now, this is a great joke. This is, I think, just a classic joke. This may have been written by, who's this new boy that I've taken quite an unhealthy interest with?
Black.
Huh?
Scott Black.
Scott Black. Black. Anyways, I really like this Black. See what you think of this joke. If you could just speak this joke out loud into that camera.
Okay.
You don't have to read ahead, or you can if you like.
I'm taking a fascinating class.
Try to, use your comic timing and delivery.
Okay. I'm taking a fascinating class all about the Hollywood freeway.
Oh.
It's called 101 101.
101, 101. 101, 101.
Good joke.
That's pretty good, right?
That's good.
That's pretty good. Here's what Mrs. Donald J. Trump, fresh from a plagiarism scandal, is facing a different kind of heat. A racy photo spread from 95 has emerged with photos of Melania Trump lying nude in a bed as another naked model embraces her from behind, just below her breasts, which are fully exposed. Another photo shows the other naked model in sheer stockings, a low-cut bustier, and high heels, raising a whip as if preparing to spank Melania, who pretends to recoil. Geez, who does Melania think she is, Mamie Eisenhower? Crowds in Brazil greeted arriving Olympians with signs reading, "Welcome to hell." Imagine that. Their local chamber of commerce really needs to brush up on the basics. Would you like to do a joke? It's always funny when, because when he started, he sucked at jokes, and no one liked them. But he's getting a lot better.
He's better.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just say it into that camera.
All right. There's no hard evidence that flossing helps your teeth much, scientists now say, though they add, it is a great activity for people who enjoy tedious, repetitious drudgery.
Some of them he's gotten better.
Yeah, that was a stumble. That wasn't great.
And that was good. It was good.
Yeah.
You always know a joke's good when the response is, "That was good." In lieu of laughter. Oh, what about New York City? Apparently, horse manure has taken over New York City. How about that?
Oh.
Isn't that terrible? Yeah. Anyways, there's a joke for the great Margret Cho.
The heat wave striking New York City this week has led to piles of horse manure to spontaneously combust. So for the first time in history, you can explain why New York City smells like a flaming pile of horse shit.
Oh, jeez. Only Margaret could have pulled that one out. Who wrote that? You? We let him write 3 jokes a week. My mom was a drug addict, so we had a lot of cookies that she had baked. But you know what her secret was? Love. Ecstasy-induced love. Now, you should read ahead on this one. But I think this would be a good joke for you.
TBS.
Well, you're not reading ahead.
Oh. TBS is developing a Notorious B.I.G. inspired comedy series, which I guess explains their new slogan, TBS fucking dog shit.
I don't know. Sometimes you don't want to say that because then TBS will phone you and say, "We're interested in what's that?" You know. Last week Pope Francis paid a somber visit to Auschwitz, which surprised me because I thought he was one of those fun ghosts. Is he dead? I don't know. In my time, they died. They didn't retire. You know what I mean? Go back to their first love. Jesus. August 4th is the birthday of the great poet Percy Shelley. You like Shelley?
I do.
Yeah. Jazz great Louis Armstrong. Who doesn't like Louis Armstrong? Huh? Well, not you, but but it's not personal. It's the entire.
No.
In the day in 1882 that Lizzie Borden grabbed the axe and did her best Paul Bunyan impression, cleaving her father and stepmother's heads like hot grapefruits, because their skulls were split with such precision. It is believed her parents were asleep and therefore didn't suffer. So they say. So anyways.
Was that a joke?
Hey, what about this? This is an actual joke.
Okay.
Technically, can be proven to be a joke.
I know I'm not the most attractive. When women look at me, I can tell they're...
You're not the most attractive man in the world.
I know I'm not the most attractive man in the world, but when women look at me...
not but. As evidence.
Oh, right. This is to support it. Yeah, this...
I know I'm not the most attractive
I know I'm not the most attractive man in the world.
As a matter of fact...
When women look at me, I can tell they're overdressing me with their eyes.
That's very good.
Mm-hmm. Good one. That's good.
I don't like doing homeless guy jokes.
Okay.
Fuck those. You know what I mean? They really need to be made fun of, you know. You guys talk.
Are you going to read all those jokes?
Oh, no. Oh, no. These are just going to go into a pile for use on
Didn't your cousin have trouble during the war on drugs?
My cousin got a Purple Heart during the war on drugs.
Well, that's good.
After he tragically overdosed on cocaine.
Oh. Well, I had a wild night last night, boy. I was in an orgy. It was me, my iPad, my laptop, and TV while my phone watched. It's more of a comment, really.
Yeah, that's more commentary. Comment.
You know, I was raised Catholic, and when people find out, they always assume there was some creepy priest involved, you know. But they never suspect the deacon. Were you raised in a broken home? I heard that from somebody.
Yes, I was raised in a broken home. My father was a drunk carpenter.
That's why we get into the business, right? Jokes.
No.
Do you remember when you were a little girl and were there any who made you laugh, or anybody in movies that made you laugh? Or
Flip Wilson.
Flip Wilson show. By golly, I keep forgetting about him.
Geraldine.
God dang, we'd all do that. We'd do all the he'd do the elbows.
And LaWanda Page.
High five. And
LaWanda Page.
Now, you must have heard LaWanda Page's albums, where she's incredibly dirty.
She's so dirty, she's so funny.
Oh my God.
She's so great.
I played it for you, right?
Yeah.
Dolomite, Rudy Ray Moore.
Yeah.
He's incredible.
Hilarious. Joe Blow, the lover man.
And it's because those guys, they were playing in these illegal speakeasies anyway, so they could say whatever the hell they wanted.
It's amazing. I did a movie with Dolomite before he died.
Wow, really?
Shaolin Dolomite?
No, I was in Shaolin Dolomite. I was in this thing called Fake in the Funk, which was about a Chinese exchange student who gets dropped off in South Central. So they sort of, it's a My Fair Lady, but with Dolomite. And so I learned to be part of the community.
Well, I'll definitely be watching that.
It's a good one.
Yeah, that sounds awesome.
It's really, really amazing.
I would watch that.
No, I'm dead serious.
And
Can you get it to watch?
Yeah.
You gotta watch that.
Yeah.
I wrote a book.
Yeah?
Yeah. You wrote a book.
Mm-hmm.
Did you like the process of writing a book?
I did.
Yeah. I don't like it so much.
No.
How long did it take you, Norm?
It took me a long time to write it.
Yeah.
I told them I could do it in a year. And then after 3 years, I threw everything away.
And after 3 years.
Threw it away.
After 3 years.
And so I wouldn't rewrite any of it.
Yeah.
I burned it.
You burned it.
Burned the paper it was on.
Yeah.
I don't use a computer or anything.
You just burn the paper.
Burned all the paper so that I wouldn't be, use any scraps of little clever lines I had or anything like that. But anyways, it's finally coming out. And I have to get my American citizenship.
Oh, you haven't got that yet.
I told them I had it.
Okay. Good.
I don't have it. And I need it, or I can't win a National Book Award.
Oh.
Now
you need it.
I need it, but it takes a long time.
Okay.
I thought it took a short time. I've never been on top of trends, I guess. When everybody was burning CDs, I was still burning books. Were people burning CDs for a while?
Yeah.
Yeah, on their computers.
Yeah, it was like making mixtapes.
Yeah, so you'd burn a CD.
Huh. I heard about a terrible thing. You ever hear about the guy that burned the Koran? I heard about a guy. He made on his computer 1,000 different Word documents of the Koran, like PDFs, and he deleted all of them.
Oh, it's like...
Anyways, we better take a break, but you were telling me before the show a story about a sad pizza that you knew? You were friends with a sad pizza? How did you know that pizza was so sad?
I mean, have you heard of the sad pizza?
No.
It cuts itself.
Oh. Oh. That is sad.
Thank you for making us laugh for so long.
Jesus Christ, I'm trying to...
This is just going south.
God damn.
Feather number 2.
Well, this is a Tim Allen question from Steve O'Donnell. How much can you tell us about Toy Story 4 due out in another year or so? Please tell me that Buzz Lightyear finally gets to fuck Jessie the cowgirl.
Let me put that in a way that Disney would understand.
Technically not a question, more of a demand.
Well, if you understand Buzz, I have no genitalia. If you've seen the picture, he's smooth on that area.
Like G.I. Joe.
Yes, very much like G.I. Joe. And if I was like my buddy Hanks, he just says anything. I'm not allowed, nor do I really know much. It's Jesse's story. I know that much about it. That's all I got.
Wait, Hanks can say anything.
Hanks will just, they don't touch him because he's really, he landed a plane on the Hudson for the love of God. And then a week later, he's looking for stuff in Paris. I mean, this guy does into everything.
Are you saying Buzz Lightyear is going through a transition?
Might be a female.
Ah, interesting.
Could be Buzzer Lightyear. No, he's not a transition.
No.
Okay.
Kids will not get that. Why do we got to go there? Now, right away.
Now, you have all the jokes. This is where we do the jokes.
Got it.
This is a joke section where you just have to read a joke off a blue card. You don't have to think of a joke.
Good.
Like those other shows?
I'm not Jay.
No, it's automatic.
So what joke would you like Tim to do?
This one seems like it might cover, some of the
I
subject
see.
matter, they're like the little people.
Yes, I got you.
All right. Blue Man Group. It's a long-running off-Broadway show in New York. Men dressed in blue. If you haven't seen it, very annoying. They beat on drums forever. The Blue Man Group has been forced by the federal government to hire an orange man and a purple woman.
Oh, my God.
Oh, dear.
Purple woman.
Sign of the times.
Orange.
Huh?
Orange man and a purple woman.
How about this?
Orange man and a purple woman.
A new report from the CDC states that only 1/3 of Americans use condoms, while 2/3 of Americans are still pretty cool.
Get out! Why do you get a good one? That was good.
What?
Whose joke was I just?
What, was that
steal somebody's joke.
He says that's a good one.
You can tell.
Ever since Trump's new policy came in, the band Foreigner is scared.
What?
Because of Donald Trump, the band Foreigner is scared.
Oh. The what? I'm sorry.
Because of Trump's immigration policy, the band Foreigner is scared.
Oh, the band.
I stole that. It's some young guy said that at the Laugh Factory. I think I stole that. But I didn't steal it really because I just admitted that I stole it.
Yeah,
so
and you did it better.
It's confusing because you could hear the phrase banned foreigners, like with foreigners have been banned.
Yeah, me and him both thought banned.
They say curiosity killed the cat, but I don't think we should rule out that shifty-looking kid next door. I was raised in a broken home. My father was a drunk carpenter. Oh, man, this shit is just going south. Oh, something tells me a cock and bull story has a very different meaning in a gay rodeo. Well, this is goes along with this stuff I've been doing. Slogans that you say that you don't understand where they came from.
Right.
Colder than a witch's tit.
Yeah.
Whoever measured, whoever actually got a witch down on the ground and said, "Paul, give me that thermometer." Let's see.
Yeah, it's like the phrase "enough coke to kill a horse."
Right.
What?
Well, the one I got, I did a benefit for veterinarians, vets, and Clint Eastwood was in the audience, and I did one old one that he liked. I said, when they used to say, "Yeah, fuck you and the horse you rode in on,"
yeah.
you know that horse is going, "Let's just calm down."
Keep me out of this.
I just met this dude at the livery stable. Let's try to work it out before we get into any of that stuff. But to get Eastwood laughing, that's good. And then he pulled a gun on me. I like that cock and bull story. I like
Happy as a clam.
Or let the cat out of the bag. For God's sakes, do it. God, you've got a cat. You know you paid too much when it actually cost you an arm and a leg. Where did that even come from?
What about this? Were you ever, when you served time in prison, didn't you?
Good, bring that up. Wow, almost got out of here with that. Yes, I did. What about it?
For something about 650 grams of cocaine you were found with or something?
Jesus, yes.
That sounds like enough to kill a horse.
Wow.
Did you ever hear, I was wondering about this, like in prison, did you ever hear somebody's, like, I don't know, maybe you just heard somebody at some point go, "Hey there, Mr. Candyman."
What the fuck?
That was a long way to
Hey
go
there,
for that.
Mr. Candyman.
No,
How about I have some of that cocaine? Like, were you expected, in other words, to get cocaine?
No, I was not. I was not expected to do that. And I'm really happy that you brought that up.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, it was good. It was really good.
Hey, Mr. Candyman. Hey, Mr. Candyman.
It never actually.
But did they call you Candy, Mr.
No.
Candyman?
You just learned to pick soap up with your feet. That's all that I learned.
Why don't you bring me a big rock candy mountain?
Yeah.
You got friends.
Yeah.
You got friends.
Yeah.
You got friends on the outside come in. Whew.
Well, you do feel better.
We weren't supposed to mention that.
We're not. We're not. Of course not. We're not mentioning it.
Has anyone explained why I'm sitting here?
No, it's just
yeah.
You did. It was a top 10.
He didn't want to bring it up. Hey, Mr. Candyman, my nose is empty. Wow. Was that really your nickname?
Yeah, Candyman. That was it. No, it wasn't Candyman.
Oh, it is, man.
Give me another joke. You know, I'm happy to help out a friend, but the next time my roommate asks for help putting sunscreen, he better be talking about his back. Fool me once.
Oh, no. That was for Adamiga.
Why would you put
I
sunscreen
didn't understand
on?
that.
So this is a.
Here's one for you. Here, Tim. Yeah, that's what it is, of course.
This is a pile.
What's that say?
This is not a good pile.
The person who invented the Frisbee was cremated and made into Frisbees after he died. His body was then spread across roofs and poorly maintained backyards. I hope that's true.
Huh.
Hey, you know
Sounds
what's...
like that's like a Trump tweet.
Right?
Just doesn't make any sense.
You know what's not as easy as... We were talking about...
Easy as pie?
Easy as pie. You know what's not easy as pie? Baking a fucking actual pie.
Does it say actually fucking in there? I'm exhausted. My kitchen is a guy. Oh, you did. You ad-libbed in there. That was nice.
There's no use crying over spilt milk.
Yeah, what?
Unless the milk was spilt on your father's fresh corpse right before his funeral.
Too many words. It's not bad. There's no crying over spilt milk.
Concision. I try to tell him. Concision.
Yeah.
That's what I tell them every day. What do I tell you?
Concision.
I say exaggerate, clarify.
Wow. Or
Try to get-
what they
get
say,
those two
tragedy plus time equals comedy.
Listen to Mr. Candyman over here. He got a lot of ideas, but he ain't got a lot of coke.
Wait a minute.
You weren't sentenced for 650 grams of ideas.
Wow. You do feel better. A New Mexico man was arrested for urinating on a family at a Metallica concert, or as Adam Egget knows, it's called foreplay.
Oh.
It is. Yeah, it is.
Hey, you were talking about.
Who's Adam Egget?
That's the problem. That's the problem. We forgot to introduce you. But here's a thing you were talking about how things start, how sayings start.
When I grew up, my family was so poor. Yeah, well, we didn't have a pot to piss in, so we pissed in other people's pots. We'd break into houses in the dead of night, find the people's pots, and take a giant piss in them because we had accumulated full bladders from holding our urine all day long, waiting to piss in people's pots. Now, literally, if you told this as the character, it's too long, but there's so much meat in there.
Yeah.
It's two separate jokes.
May not be long enough.
I said there's a story there that, you know.
I don't want to shoot myself in the foot. That's another expression.
Oh boy, here we go. Nothing funny about Nazis. No, you can't even talk. You can't even say Nazis. The only thing about Nazis I've used is.
Wait, I haven't said that.
I don't want to shoot myself in the foot, but my left big toe is a neo-Nazi. Even worse, my big right toe believes that there should be a gender pay gap. Gender pay gap. You can't. Hitler's just not funny. Still, it's not enough time. Except he did kill the mustache style.
Allegedly.
Oh, he did?
No, but yeah, I've been around Aryan Nation guys in prison that would that tattoo "fuck you" on their forehead. Still wouldn't go that far.
Right.
You know, they got swastikas everywhere, but they go, no, that's too much.
Who did what?
Michael Jordan.
Yes.
Oh yeah, that
For
was
a short
bizarre.
while.
Remember the Hanes commercial?
underwear commercials. Yeah.
He
But
tried
that's
to bring.
maybe just that's where it grew.
Probably the
He
last person I expected to try.
Isn't
and
it
bring
funny?
back the
Charlie
Hitler
Chaplin
mustache.
and Hitler. The only two guys that ever tried that one. That looked good. A little.
I think Hitler took it from Chaplin.
think so, too.
Because he was a man of the people. And
Oh yeah, and he had the stash obviously before the great dictator.
You remember those pictures? Remember that picture
You're thinking about that.
of Hitler? Remember in World War I? He's like,
He was photobombing people. He was the first photobomber. He was. Very common knowledge.
That'd be a good tweet.
He's a great,
not.
huge.
You don't want to just
I don't know.
avoid
I bet you have never met.
a bigger Hitler buff.
No, he's a revisionist, a Holocaust denier.
Oh God! Wow, you feel better. All of a sudden.
Wait, is it? Are you or not?
Oh boy.
No, I had a bar mitzvah. Yeah, I had a bar
you-
mitzvah. I'm full Jew. I'm just saying Stalin. Everyone overlooks Stalin. I'm just saying Stalin is
Every
just as
time
bad.
Hitler comes out,
Stalin comes.
Stalin is worse.
Goes right.
They're
down.
no, yeah, they're both terrible.
No.
They
You
were
want to get into
Stalin,
that?
though.
Then don't-
Just stay
Millions
on
of people
Hitler.
that guy killed.
But stay on Hitler.
What about the What about the Ottomans? You got to go into that one.
The Ottoman.
The Ottoman Empire.
Ottomans.
Oh yeah, the Ottomans.
The Armenians.
Yeah, well,
that was horrible.
And that's
right.
Very recent, isn't it?
Yeah.
I'm not familiar with the Ottomans. Or
I live in an Armenian
Empire,
neighborhood,
yeah.
and you get the older Armenians
Oh,
tell
yeah.
that story about that. That's something that they just did a movie with Eric Bana, I think, about the. Elton John had something to do with it, about the massacre.
Disney?
No, Disney did. Disney. Yeah, they did a musical about the Armenian slaughter. What is the matter with you?
Jesus Christ.
Jesus.
A
Disney?
group of crows is called a murder. A group of unicorns is called a blessing, and a group of cows is called my in-law.
Good night. You screwed it up, and it's still okay.
Yeah, it's still
You just sold it at the end.
Tried, right?
I need one.
Well, you don't like children, so this might be.
I didn't say
perfect.
that. I said I don't like you. Do you have children?
You said you don't like children.
Did I?
Oh, many times. So many times.
Did I say that? I exaggerate to clarify.
When did you not say
A
that?
hippo's mouth is wide enough to fit in a 4-foot tall child. Really? Huh. I like hippos. Unfortunately, after measuring the hippo's mouth, almost all the children were eaten.
What?
A hippo's mouth is wide
doesn't
enough
make
to fit a
sense,
4-foot tall child.
Okay.
Unfortunately, after measuring the hippo's mouth, almost all the children were eaten.
Look, I know the Bible says not to covet thy neighbor's wife.
Right.
But it doesn't say a damn thing about coveting thy neighbor's husband, especially a sweet, hot fucking asshole.
This is sweet hot. Is that in there? You just toss all that stuff in there. But it is true. It does anything about coveting thy neighbor's husband. Huh? You make a good point, Norm.
Well, what about women, young
The
women?
show's
you
going,
know?
what?
Young women?
The Statue of Liberty is setting a bad example for young women. When times get tough, you just can't stand motionless for centuries holding a torch.
It's true.
You
What
got a
about
point.
this? What about this, Pally?
Or wear a dress and have people walk
Steve
around.
O'Donnell, right, you know, the
Steve,
man behind the cameras, now on camera.
Steve won't do it.
I'm really more of a booster.
Are you, Steve?
Artifacts from Auschwitz are set to go on tour for the first time.
You guys won't stop.
Experts believe that this will be Miley Cyrus's darkest opening act yet.
Wow.
Oh, this is almost perfect.
I might open with that in Vegas. That'll get the crowd walking out.
I'm going to let the great Tim Allen,
experts believe,
one of the best joke tellers to ever live.
I don't know, Jay
is amazing.
He's an amazing joke teller.
Jay.
Funniest guy on the planet, though, is Marty Short.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Marty Short. I can't be around him. He hurts me.
Yeah.
But he's not a stand-up.
Stop. Can't help himself.
But
Isn't that weird that he's not a stand-up?
He's not a stand-up. We did The View, he and I, for a movie we did together, and the first time ever those women were speechless. I mean, we owned that show. He's so freaking funny. We did a whole bit in the makeup trailer about all the theater we'd done. We haven't done any. Because everything's a theater play.
The Jiminy Glick is so hilarious.
I did that.
He can say,
you know what's great about him too? Horrible shit to you,
Yeah.
and his chin was coming off one time when I did it. This whole piece, and I kept going and he wouldn't come out of character. And I said, but this is all coming out. Your name again? Who are you? He's horrible. He's a horrible man.
Yeah, somebody told me. I don't know, maybe Steve Martin or somebody said, "Oh yeah, that's Marty being Marty." Like,
yeah,
you know. So this is going to be the final joke. I hold in my hand
Karnak.
The final joke. Now you're supposed to all applaud.
Well, that's Karnak. Well, when you ask for it, it's not worth it.
May dog in heat romance your leg in the month of September.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, this is the final joke. Now I want you to read ahead.
All right, read ahead.
Read ahead, you know, so you give it all.
All right, a new study finds
And hold on. Before he finishes, because I want to end with a big joke by one of the greatest joke tellers ever lived.
Leno's on his way in.
And so I'll say thank you very much to Tim Allen for gracing our show.
Absolutely. Yeah, you guys are great. Thanks.
Here it is. There's the camera right there.
The camera. She just brought it from home. These are the smallest cameras I've ever seen. Listen, a new study finds that men are more likely to blame stress from work as a contributor to their poor mental health, while women are more likely to jabber on about something or other. Why do you give me that one all of a sudden?
I'd trade tomorrow for one more sunset from back then.